Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome to our Capricorn reading for February 2025. This is going to be for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising. Many of you are intuitively guided. That's your spirit guides just nudging you. There's probably signs, messages in here for you. I know some of you are in love with the Capricorn, both romantically and platonically. I have my granddaughter Faith. Many of you know her birthday is December 26th. Um, and I just love her personality. My daughter has a really good friend who's a Capricorn. Um, but I don't know their birthday. But I do know that I think it's in January, but I know they're Capricorn. So, anyways, guys, you are the last reading that I'm doing for February 2025. But I have to tell you, often I feel the last reading is usually the best reading. It may be long, so be prepared for that. If you're not into like extended readings, I just may not be your cup of tea. Because I already feel it. I can already feel that we're going to be going into some real detail. But that's the way I want it. That's the way I want it for you. Anyways, I want to just remind you real quick that we're in the universal year 9. If you don't know what that means, it's the year of the hermit. I would definitely research it so you understand what the year is calling for. It really is the final push of a 9-year cycle. So when 2025 is over, we're opening up a new cycle. We'll be going into the year of the magician. So this is a great year to really look around, make decisions, what's got to go, what can stay. But according to your feelings, your soul, your intuition, really trust in it this year. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of spiritual awakenings this year. I feel like many are already on their way. And I have to say, as it relates to the world, I feel like, this is a year where truth is truth, no matter, even if someone tries to paint it otherwise. That's what a spiritual awakening is about. It's recognizing the truth for the truth, even our own truth. Um, so I'd also look up what your personal year number is, and you can probably just figure it out. It's pretty easy. You take the day you were born, you add that to the month you were born, and then you add that to the universal year 9, bring that to a single digit. So let's say it adds up to 23. You'd add the 2 and the 3, so you'd be in a 5 personal year. The only time you don't bring it down to a single digit if it lands on a master number, 11, 22, 33, 44. You would leave it there. That means that you're here to master something. I have a 22 this year, so that's called the Master Builder, and that's exactly what I plan on doing. So I'm going to definitely use that energy, or take advantage of what's available. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get into your reading. We're going to use a few different decks. I did bring out the love clarifying situations. I want to take the top. Well, actually, I'm just going to take a card. I was going to take the top card, but I don't want anybody to have any doubt in their mind. And I just want to see what it says. Entangled. Now, I'm slowly introducing this deck into the readings. And depending on which way they come out, whether, I don't think there's a right or a wrong, upright or reversed. There's a message for either. So I picked up entangled, establish and communicate your own boundaries. So we'll play it by ear where we'll bring them in, but I have a feeling we will. Of course, I brought out the romance angels in case love comes into the picture. we are going to use the major arcana, something I'll probably continue to do. Matter of fact, I even started using them in my personal readings, um, which I never had before. But I would say the last three personal readings I've done, I've also used these. But so much I love them. Um, or I love what they bring to the table. Let's put it that way. Mother Mary, of course, for her beautiful words of wisdom, the Gilded Tarot to clarify and go deeper. How deep do we dare to go? Well, however deep it takes. We're going to use the Psychic Tarot for your main spread. Okay, so I'm going to bring the lid down and we're going to go ahead and open this up with Mother Mary. I've also been taking Mother Mary at the end of the readings also. I mean, I play it by ear. If I feel like we need a little bit more guidance from Mother Mary, then certainly I will bring her back out. Um, but that's something that intuitively I feel. Okay, you ready, Capricorn? I'm ready. By the way, I don't know if I said this is for February. The time is fluid. That just means you may come across a reading that could be years old. You may not know that when you go into the reading. And then everything may just be exactly what you needed to hear at that time. That's what I call divine timing. And I feel like that's the way spirit works. Like, why would spirit not use, what our guides have already told us, to help you? They will. All right. Jesus. I pray for Jesus' help and guidance with this situation and watched over. I allow myself to feel safe and enjoy my life, knowing that heaven is watching over my loved ones and me. Beautiful. Jesus and watched over. If nothing else, this is definitely a sign that your guides are going to be very proactive in this reading. Our guides. I say our guides because my guides connect to your guides. And by the way, I feel like we're all one big soul family. So there's no problem in that type of communication. All right. Oh, why did I bring that up? Let's start with the major arcanas. Yeah, the major arcanas. Give them a shuffle. Anyone who's new, just want to let you know that all the decks are always pre-shuffled before I begin. That's really when I'm just meditating on you. That's when I'm using. I don't know why I keep bringing this out, but this Moldavite, which is over 15 million years old, it was gifted to me um, from a company out of the UK. And it truly is meant to open up your intuition, your spirituality. So I already feel like mine is open. So I'm testing to see if it allows us to go even deeper. But I have to tell you, I feel like what it's doing, it's making the reading so clear that I feel like I don't need to clarify. I do the clarifying more for you, just so you can see it. Some people, it's like, yeah, 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 you can talk all you want. But then when you see it like playing out. We have the beautiful Empress, the mother figure. Some of you, this could certainly represent a mother figure watching over you, as one of your main guides. I definitely feel that for some of you. Could be a mother, a grandmother, big sister. But I also want to say, I feel like, who's ever stepping forward, and it does, again, feel like a mother figure. She's carrying the wisdom of all your ancestors. So even though I may be here to help guide you, know that it's coming from the wisdom of, again, all your ancestors. Okay. She's very creative. She's all about her creativity. She builds abundance for herself. I don't feel like she like um I don't feel like that's even the reason why I set out to do something. Of course I need to make money to survive. And I do feel like she's very abundant. She has the ability to be very abundant. And I feel like that's talking to you. You have the ability to be very abundant. Maybe it is about trusting within your creativity. Even signs and epiphanies. The Empress is someone who definitely will put them to use. But she also knows the right time. And I think the Empress, I think of like a mother carrying a child. Well, I may want my child now, but I want to let it fully develop within me at the same time. She's very powerful, but also gentle. Judgment. Wow. Okay. That makes it very clear to me that what I was feeling as it relates to a mother figure guiding um, probably a lot of you. Now judgment comes out, which is your spiritual team. Your spiritual team is calling you to the present moment. Some type of rebirth is about to take place. I love that it's coming through the Empress's energy. That means, I don't feel like the Empress carries fear. She is human now. Doesn't mean the fear never comes up, but I don't feel like fear gets in the way of her pursuing something. When you're being called to the present moment, there's a reason. And judgment really does stand for a rebirth, a new beginning. It means that your signs, there will be signs, there will be guidance, and in that you can trust. I also feel there's some single moms here, could be also dads. Um, but yet I feel you have the ability to create like really true abundance for yourself. Maybe you've just begun. The Empress is a number three, and it does represent creativity, but also represents joy, optimism. It also represents being in the present moment, just as judgment is asking. Okay. I feel like this is going to be, this, no wonder this is going to be a long reading. It's like every card is important. Hello, star. That may be why. So, this is like a wish coming true. It's not a miracle. It's because you deserve it. It's probably because of action steps that you've taken. And if you haven't, this may be the time. Again, judgment's going to guide you right towards this. Are you ready? Are you ready? You must be. Or I don't feel like judgment would, or judgment's going to help you get ready to then accept this blessing, this wish. Um, and what you want to remember in the star card is this is really us working hand in hand with divine, right? It's like we have our part to play, they have their part to play. While they're playing their part, hello, full. So a new beginning. Doesn't have to mean in all areas of your life, unless that's what you're looking for. Especially with the star there. It's really, what are you looking for? And be careful what you're wishing for, because here's an opportunity to manifest it. But the fool represents someone who's put the past in the past definitely has extracted the wisdom, which then becomes part of the Fool's power. This is about taking a leap of faith, but you're taking a leap of faith on a wish that you had anyway. Some of you may be very surprised, like, holy shit, here it is. It's interesting because the star is looking at the fool's looking at the star. Now, the fool is mirroring the Empress. So I love that because I feel like there's probably very little fear, or let me put that a different way. Whatever is has the potential of now opening up. And by the way, I want to remind you that it's because of the intentions you also put out there. But it's now coming about. It's offering you a new beginning in something. You do have to take that leap of faith. You have to trust that you already possess the wisdom, the tools that you need to truly be successful. Well, that's the first thing I felt with the Empress is the abundance. And I don't normally even say that with her. But for some reason, today, she did not want me to leave that part out. All right, let's bring in the Psychic Tarot. By the way, the star is card of Aquarius. I should say that. Your neighbor. Let's give him a cut. All right. Truth. It's interesting because that's what I was talking about before we began the reading. I just want to say there is one particular person that always has me on the clock. Like, and I'm not putting this person down. They have every right to do whatever they want. But they always put like the time that the tarot reading begins. I have to say, I feel like your reading begins the minute I hit start. And I'm saying that because as I am shuffling and meditating, there are things that I pick up, and truth was one of them. So I love that it's the first um, of your main spread. It's the first card that came out. It is judgment. So judgment feels like it's asking you to ask yourself, are you living your truth? Are you being completely honest with yourself? There's no sense of lying to oneself. I also feel, as you evolve, it's harder and harder to lie to ourselves. We can, but the truth will always show itself. Now, it's interesting we have two judgments, two spiritual teams here. So let's see. We have, oh, look at this. The Ace of Pentacles. Prosperity begins. And it's surrounded by judgment. It's surrounded by your spiritual team. Boy, do I feel like some of you are heading for abundance. Truly. This can start as a seed, like a seed of intention. And that's what I felt in the star. Because it's not about miracles. Yes, there are blessings, but many of the blessings are well earned. So here comes that dream. Here comes that wish. The Ace of Pentacles, if I nurture this ace, which the Empress definitely would, then it only grows and grows and grows. Matter of fact, I feel like it throws off new seeds, new blessings. That's a great omen right there. And then beautiful, positive movement forward under the star next to the Ace of Pentacles. 8 is about a new beginning. We do have the Full, which is also about a new beginning. This should ease some of your minds. So like if some of you are like, oh no, what's coming up? It's positive. It is movement, but it's movement forward. Doesn't always have to mean physical movement. You know, maybe even my own thought process has evolved. So, not only do we have a new beginning, but the Ace of Pentacles even gives us the way. Again, coming in as a seed. Let's say that, I often feel the Empress, she doesn't have to be, but I feel like she'd be a great business owner. Especially some type of spiritual business. Because she has that experience. She's been through the lessons of all the queens and she's extracted that wisdom. And now she never loses that. You never lose that. Okay. I'm not sure where I was going with that, but let's keep going. Hello, another ace. The Ace of Swords. Look what it says. Triumphant success. Prosperity begins. Positive movement forward. Triumphant success. Truth. Mirroring it. Well, actually, I think I'm going to take one more card across. But at this moment, this Ace of Swords, which can speak about communication. Some of you, that may be exactly what you're doing. You may be entering in the field. I could see a lot of you like starting a podcast, but using your voice. And, because your spiritual team is backing that, then I feel like there must be a spiritual quality to your voice, or whatever it is you're saying. Even if, I could be doing a cooking podcast. I don't know, can you do a cooking podcast, like a cooking video? But my spirituality still comes through. Certainly could also be communication. So let's take a card beside it. We have 11 right in between, or with the 8 right in between. Two twos. So two ones, two twos. Some of you, that may be your personal year number, or even your life path number. I know Summer's thinking, what's my life path number? There are life path calculators online, and all you have to do is enter in your birth date. Your life path does include the year you were born, or your personal year, you leave that out. But you don't add it to anything, so you're not adding it to the universal year. Anyways, I would look for a calculator if you don't know, because I think it's important that you know. Well, let me put it a different way. When you know your life path number and you know your personal year number within any universal year, it really is to help you. There are things that you'll notice, like let's say you're a life path 1. Well, that's the energy of the magician. It's pretty powerful, but it can also be a lot about oneself. And I don't really mean that in an egotistical way, because I feel like a 1 is here to manifest. An eight, interesting because an eight life path is really here to manifest on the material realm, you know, building businesses, building your wealth. And you don't have to apologize for it because it's really what your soul wanted to do. Okay. Movement, choices, and decisions. Now, this is mirroring truth, judgment. Here's your guidance, right? Look at all these doors you can walk through. Number one, that feels like options. I always notice these wedding bands in this one door. It often feels like past lives to me. But what door am I going to walk through? Well, your spiritual team is here to help guide you, to help you take the best advantage of these beautiful aces that you can. Another two, three twos now. It's funny. I just put Sagittarius' reading out at 222. I didn't even mean to do it. It's just when I did it. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, it's 222. We have the Chariot. Look at this. Triumph seems to be the word for you this month. This is Cancer's major arcana. The Chariot to me is a couple different things. It could simply be a vehicle, right? The vehicle that allows you maybe to make a move if that's what you've been wanting to do. It's really up to you in this energy. But I want to remind you in the chariot's driven by your intentions. Your intentions tell the chariot where to go. The chariot does need balance. Balance of the feminine and masculine within ourselves, the light and the dark, because we are all of that. Then it's unlimited potential. Like, the only limit on the chariot is what our human mind would put upon it. But it's coming right under your spiritual team. And I kind of love this as 7 because I feel like 7 is a very spiritual number. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, now all of a sudden they want to come out together. We have the Empress again under the Ace of Pentacles. We have, interesting, we have an 8 under another 8. This is a different type of 8 though. This is the 8 of Cups, emotional withdrawal. But listen, this must be something that you've overcome because otherwise I don't know how there could be positive movement forward. This is the willingness to look within one's own emotional house. Understand the cups that have been knocked over. Some cups were just free will. You don't have to overanalyze. It's just finding emotional clarity. And this person, when they do, they're heading to the 9 of Cups, which is inner harmony. I feel like that's important. And I feel like the Chariot needs that inner harmony to really soar. What I love about this image is this person is sitting at the water's edge. And it's like they're giving their worries, like they're handing the worries out and the tides are just washing the worries away. Some of you, water may be very soothing to you. Just look at the position this person's in. So they know they want better. But they also know that they have to understand. You do have to understand where you've been to know where you're going, so to speak. 88. We have justice. Now we have 1111. Make a wish. Carta Libra. This is about using the sword of justice. You know, just like I said with the chariot, if the chariot is unbalanced, then it really cannot move. Like think of a car. You buy a car and it arrives at your house, but all four tires are flat. Well, you're not going to get anywhere, right? So I got to make sure each tire is inflated equally. When justice shows up in a reading, it's really about making you whole again. And evidently, there's something that you have to cut ties with, or you are cutting ties with, or maybe some of you already have. Now, that doesn't have to mean a person. It can mean energetically, like letting go. This sword of justice, which is interesting because here's a sword right above it, and the full right above that. It almost feels like using this sword is what sets me free and puts me into the fool's energy. And again, whether it be a person, a thing, my thoughts, what you want to ask yourself is is there something that's keeping you unbalanced? And if so, be honest, write your truth. What do I want to do about that? All right, let's keep going. Wisdom. This is the Hierophant, Carditaris. It is a change because it's a 5. It's mirroring the Chariot. It's interesting because the Hierophant, well, it says wisdom, right? And it is your wisdom. It's the wisdom of your experiences. It's the wisdom of your spirituality, even the wisdom of your faith. But that's what it wants you to ask yourself. Like, are you living life the way you feel is right for you? Or are you living life according to someone else's terms? This does feel like it's about getting back to you, because you have a lot of potential. And I hope you feel it. But if you don't, I feel like your guides are going to start helping you feel that. Maybe balance is like, the name of the game right now. All right, let's see what else we have. Recognition and reward. Look how humble this person is. Even though they're being recognized and rewarded, they look very humble. This is the Three of Pentacles. This is about your individuality. This is you being celebrated for who you are, on a core level. He's got some type of metal around his neck. Funny, I just realized that. It does look like he has the cloak of the dagger on, or the cloak of the hermit on. Not the dagger, the hermit. So, anyways, this is really the celebration of who you are, your individuality, and other people literally taking notice of that. I don't know where I want to put it. And then, hello, sun, Capricorn. You have maybe two cards or two energies that may be, let's just say, a little difficult. But both of them are under our control. This is not about things that are outside of our control. No, both of these are within our control. Now, maybe something happened on an emotional level that was outside your control, but the ability not to no longer focus on it, let's say, to move forward, because right above it again is positive movement forward. That means that you're finding clarity. And I feel like, again, I can't deny my truth. So I'm going to use this sword of justice. And when you do, that then you're balanced, and it's a completely different feeling. Justice is about making you whole again. That's the job of justice. But I have to do my part. There's a lot of like your spiritual team guiding you, sending in these aces. But then there's also this energy of you allowing these new beginnings. Again, you have two eights plus the full. These aces offer like opportunity. Um, the Hierophant, a number 5, it is about change. And then the Sun, called Light in this deck. This is your illuminator. It's your illuminator. Now, the reason why I say that is truly no shadows can hide when the sun is out. And this is, it's like a brand new day. It's a playful, unencumbered energy. I feel like for some of you, it is about your spirituality. And it is about you coming, let's just say, closer and closer to a true spiritual awakening. I also love this with your spiritual team being so strong. Like the guidance should be pretty clear. If your team sends you a message and you're not sure, or a sign, you're not sure, you can ask for them to send it again. They will. If you feel like you missed it again, send it again. They'll make it bigger, till it's almost undeniable. But what I love is that the sun is illuminating you. All right. I think I don't know. Let's just put them right here. And let's look at the bottom of the deck. Well, hello, full. A lot of synchronicities going on here. This is the Hermit. Interesting, because it's the year we're in. It can be a Virgo for some of you, but I feel like this is more talking about the year. It says solitude here. But don't be afraid of that. This can just simply signify that you did have to take some time and be by yourself for a while. I have to say, um, not that I wish to be alone, but I do know that I receive some of my greatest epiphanies when I am alone, when I am in my office, not even working, just staying open to whatever spirit wants to tell me. This may be connecting you with another. And I say that because of the synchronicities. Like we have two empresses. Now we have two foals. And whatever else I said, two judgments. So two spiritual teams. Are they guiding two people together? First of all, I don't want to take away the prosperity that I feel like you're heading towards. Because this Ace of Pentacles that seems to be coming directly from your spiritual team puts you in this positive energy. And yes, this Ace of Swords can be communication from someone, but what I'm feeling right now, it's your voice, it's your truth. And I feel like you're speaking it. And I feel like you should, because I feel like you're coming from the light, not the dark. Some of you may be making a new decision about what it is you want to do. Okay, well, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. Um, and we'll see. We'll see if this is also connecting you to someone. But again, the prosperity through your own creative house. You probably have heard me say this, but this is a year where a lot of healers are going to be, they're going to hear that call to action or feel it. Doesn't even mean that, like, I have to start a spiritual business, I have to go around door to door, you know what I mean, and help others have spiritual awakenings. Um, it's about you. It is about you. But I feel like when I do, when I know and understand, when I'm really living in my truth, then I know when I need to use this sword. I know what's no longer fitting, right? Because this feels very unencumbered. Like it has a beautiful flow to it. And the light really is the promise of better days lie ahead. But maybe your movement again is important. But you're the one who's being recognized. You're the one who is ultimately receiving these rewards. But it is because of you. Now, maybe you're someone who has been thinking about, you have certain ideas that you would like to bring to the world. Well, I feel like this, especially if there's a spiritual tone to it, this is the year. Now, you do need to trust yourself, your own intuition, but I do, I felt this back in 2024, where a lot of people are going to be opening businesses up in 2025. A lot of people are going to have spiritual awakenings in 2025. Some won't even know what it is, what's happening. But I feel like at least the people, I feel like the majority of you will understand that. It just means you're evolving. You're evolving. And as you evolve, so does your life. Okay. I can't remember if I cut them, so I am going to give them a cut. I like to cut any new deck that I bring into a reading, really to introduce it into the ongoing reading. So let's start at the beginning. Make sure I have them in the upright. I do. Okay. We're going to take what's face up first. Look at this, the Ace of Swords again. Now it's right over your spiritual team. And this judgment says truth. This is your truth. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Or I'm sorry, the Ten of Wands. It feels like a prayer is being answered. It feels like weight is being lifted off your shoulders. You may have been through a period of time of heavy responsibility. Some of you could have been again, or you still may be, like single moms or single dads, where all the responsibility is on your shoulders. But it feels like the days of hardship feel like they're coming to an end. I often feel the person in this energy is subconsciously wishing for a tower. But maybe that, again, is what Justice is talking about. Maybe some of you aren't single yet. And I'm certainly not telling you to break up with anyone. That has to be your choice. But this is a period of time of heavy responsibilities. Sometimes it can signify, first of all, I feel like you probably have already learned this lesson. But let's say it's relating to a relationship at all. Then you could talk about where you tend to put like the brunt of the responsibilities of that relationship on your shoulders, and that's not fair. Some of you, I feel like you're leaving a very difficult job to start your own business. And, maybe you've been worried about that, but the Ace of Pentacles seems to like be what gives you the way. Again, that Ace of Pentacles, I don't feel it's one time because I feel like this, as I nurture this, it throws off more seeds and they all will come in their due time. Well, hello, Knight of Cups. Unexpected cup of fulfillment. Now, it is coming over the star, but also positive movement forward. And if I just look right down, we have the sun. That tells you that this energy is coming out of the light. To me, that just means this is not someone's coming into your life that has a lot of issues, that you will then have to deal with. I feel like I've been there, done that. And it's coming over such beautiful, positive energy that I feel like it can only bring positive things to you. Now, you will have the option of saying yes or no. That's kind of what this movement, choices, and decisions may be relating to. I feel like it's relating to a few things. But now I feel like now we're going to start talking a little bit about love. Well, look at this. Hello, Destiny. So if this is speaking of love, then I feel like these couples are truly meant for each other. It could be predestined. But I have to say, that doesn't guarantee us. Why? Well, first of all, if I'm still in the Ten of Wands, it almost wouldn't make sense unless I'm single and, you know, it's not talking about anybody else. It's just talking about what you've been dealing with. This could be a very welcome relief. Fool is starting down a destined path. How beautiful is that? Told you the last readings are always the best. We have, well, hello, Ten of Pentacles. Holy cow. This is a house of abundance. You'll often hear me say that the Ace of Pentacles has roots. And that means that whatever I am using this ace for, it can truly take root. It can truly, and to me, taking root just means it's got a strong foundation. Um, you know, Storm couldn't come along and knock it, like destroy it, because the roots are too deep. And that's the same thing I feel with the Ten of Pentacles. First of all, holy abundance. Again, it's not a miracle. It's you. And I feel like, again, let's say I was working for the man or woman, but, you know, maybe it was too much. Not that I don't think you could handle it, but I feel like you probably recognized that maybe you weren't getting paid what you're worth. It feels like there's some type of disconnect. as it relates to a job. So this may be the very reason why you may say, you know what, I'm going to take a different course. I'm going to take a different direction. I have this wisdom. I know what I'm talking about. And if someone else can't appreciate that, well, then bye bye. And then we have your major arcana. So if you didn't think this was for you, there's your major arcana. You know, the devil wants you just to know and understand both your light and your dark, both sides of yourself. It's coming over the chariot. You know, am I being like, do I have a tendency to be pulled into energy that maybe is not the best for me? It's something I feel like Capricorn really has to figure out. I do have to say that I love that your major arcana just came out. All right, let's keep going. It's exactly what I was feeling. The Nine of Pentacles. This Nine of Pentacles is coming directly over the Empress. I mean, come on. If the Empress isn't being appreciated for the wisdom that she has, what she brings to the table, she or he, then yes, then I'll go start my own business. The meaning of this card is successful self-employment. Doesn't have to be self-employment. It may be I decide to take another job. But I have to tell you, I feel like you have the wisdom. Um, and you have like so much spiritual backing that if you've been thinking about creating a business for yourself, I do feel the success with it. I mean, that's exactly what this means. This is also very independent energy. And I mean that as in, you know, let's say I'm looking for love. Well, I don't need someone to come in and take care of me financially. I can take care of myself. Doesn't mean I'm rich, but maybe you will be one day. Just maybe you will be. Because recognition and reward is also connected to this energy. Um, oh my gosh, look at this. The Ace of Wands. Inspired action. Inspired action. What does that mean? That means that you will be inspired to take certain action. All of it's coming out of the light. And that just means to me at this moment, there's nothing to worry about here. You are being guided. You know, it's coming over emotional loss, which is again that Eight of Cups. But I feel like you've moved out of that energy. I feel like you've handed over, the things you just cannot control. You're not allowing yourself to carry that weight, right? If I can't control it, why am I sitting here worrying about it? I don't even know why I'm going into a negative tone here because this is very, very positive. You have three aces, by the way. I put a three up, but three aces. This ace of wands, again, inspiration, action steps to take to bring about your wishes because it is mirroring also the star coming over the light. and it's next to the Nine of Pentacles. So, you know, I definitely feel like, again, if I'm making that decision to work for myself or not, I definitely feel like you're gonna, like, your spiritual team will help you. You know, they'll put ideas in your head, epiphanies. You choose what you want to use. But I love that this is guiding you. And in two places, in your money, but I feel like also in your love. I mean, epiphanies after epiphany after epiphany. Yeah, and let me give you another example of when I say inspired action. I use this example all the time, so I hope I don't bore you with it. But like I remember when, like I worked outside of the home, I would stop every morning and get coffee from Dunkin' Donut and a sandwich or something, my breakfast. Take it to work and eat. Um, but the vision that I have gotten in my head over and over and over again is not really me because I work from the home now. Um, but instead of like, here I am driving to work and getting ready to turn into Dunkin' Donuts, which I do every single day, but something is telling me, who knows, maybe there's too many cars in the parking lot. Something is saying, go over to Starbucks, which is right across the street. Go to Starbucks. Now, I say that because I feel like if you're being guided there, that means you're going to meet someone there. Like a conversation might just, you could be in line to get your coffee or your tea, and then someone else is also in line, and a conversation may begin, and that just may be the beginning of the beginning, if that made sense. Four aces, the Ace of Pentacles again. Now it's coming right over Justice. So, again, using that sort of justice, it literally feels like the universe wants to make you feel whole. Like if you have been feeling unbalanced, definitely ask yourself why. What's causing that? Because I feel like the answer to help you become balanced is here. I know it's going to be different for different people, but I feel like it does relate to this sword. That's what makes you whole again. So again, whether it's my own, like maybe for a while, maybe I've always wanted to start my own business, but I had a hard time believing I'd be successful. Recognition and reward means other people will seek you out for what you do. Like, I don't even feel like you have to worry about that. And this ace is also connected to the wheel, which is also mirroring the full. It's almost like there's no excuses anymore. Synchronicities are just off the chart. So now we have the star. And I find it interesting that what started up here has now come into here. So the Empress, right there. Judgment, right there. The star, right there. The only one we don't have oh, yes, we do. The full, the full. Wow. All right. I'm going to look at the three of Pentacles with the Sun. The world. The next chapter. a new beginning. The world to me signifies one's spirituality because I feel like in the world's chapter, which I often feel is for the rest of our lives, there is a very spiritual component to it. It's like walking hand in hand with your spirituality and your humanness. Here is the next portal. Here is that new beginning. Here is what the foal is walking through, and it's coming over the sun and recognition and reward. So it feels like this period that's coming up, so well deserved. Holy cow. This just feels like it's covering your whole life. There's definitely some wishes, dreams that are coming true. But again, I want to remind you that your human action is also needed, but you're being inspired. This Knight of Cups, which again is an unexpected couple fulfillment, though I feel like it is something I've been wishing for, but I feel like not just any old couple fulfillment, something that was destined. It's like your soul knows that it is a destined time. Okay, I'm going to come back and look at the Knight of Cups. This is probably one of the most abundant readings I have done for February. And again, yours is the last. We have the Nine of Wands. So this is reflection. It's interesting it's coming next to the Ten of Wands. This is reflection. But I call this person my spirit warrior because this is someone who has looked back. Each wand represents an experience, but each wand is up. To me, that means these are things that you've learned, you've overcome. This is about who you are today and being proud of that. That's why I call this person my spirit warrior, because I do feel like they've been through a lot, but they're not allowing that to play any effect in their future. There's no judgment here. You shouldn't judge yourself. This truly is for you to understand how you have grown, how you have evolved, how you have become the spirit warrior. Okay, let's go on the other side of it. Thrown away, I hate to mess with the wheel. It's interesting because I was just talking about how you are now what I would call a spirit warrior. Well, this recognition and reward, it's coming a lot from your spiritual team. It's like you've put in the effort, you've looked at things in your life, you've made these decisions of what's working, what's not. You're using the energy of the universal nine to really help better your life and get better. Oh yeah, it's only getting better and better and better. Now, I have to continue to trust in myself, be open to the guidance. And remember how I said I felt like this Ace of Pentacles was throwing off new seeds? Well, here's a new seed. Anyway, why did I stop? Now I'm trying to think what was that first card that came out from the clarifying love situations. Did I put it on top? Yes, entangled. Establish and communicate your own boundaries. So that may have been an important component that is moving you ahead. I swear, Capricorn, there's nothing to fear here but fear itself. But I have no fearful energy on the board. Yes, I have real life. I have issues, right? I have responsibilities. I even have some energy where, I may not like what's going on, let's just say in a workplace, but it is that may ultimately move me into starting my own business. And will you be successful? Yes. I feel like you'll be very successful. We have the Four of Pentacles. Interesting, because the first thing I felt when I picked up this card is that this Knight of Cups, this unexpected cup of fulfillment, is not far from you. Like maybe in your own hometown. They may also do something very similar to you, especially if you two are being guided together. And because it's all coming in the light, and it is your spiritual team, and for some of you, it's that mother figure. And who knows better than your mother? Well, I mean, it depends on your mother, but once one crosses over, whatever, you know, whatever issues I had in this earth are gone, healed, released, forgiven. I also feel this is talking about the stability, the foundation. It may represent the importance of starting this, if this is going to turn into a new relationship, that we think about the foundation. The only other, let's say, I hate to say negative, but the only other thing with the Four of Pentacles, the only warning I would give you in the Four of Pentacles is don't be resistant to how this cup that's coming in must be. This is more about trusting divine. Because I do feel like your spiritual team, for the majority of you, knows that you're not interested in, maybe the days of dating and going out and that, they were fun. I've had them. I had a great time. Sometimes I miss those days. But yet I'm so much more stable than I used to be at this point. Um, but what I mean is this person may be different than anyone you've experienced before. I do feel like they have to be matching your vibration. And because I feel the growth within your spirituality, that tells me they've also had the same growth. I feel like the opportunity for this really to be grounded is tremendous. In the Ten of Pentacles, I often feel you're not alone. This is you making a life with someone. And again, I feel like have my own money. I'm not saying you're rich, but I do feel like you can take care of yourself. Again, this is an independent nature, but not to the point where I don't allow anyone in my life. Now that's your choice. Some of you, I feel like you've been focusing on your career or a new business, and that's a good thing. This Knight of Cups again is unexpected. You know, like when I think of love, I can't think of one time where in my life I planned love. It just happens. But this knight is heading right to your wheel, which is your destiny, which is a new beginning. And it's almost like you're sharing this energy. Okay. Um, let's bring out the clarifying love situations and then we'll bring out the romance angels. I have to say, of all the readings I've done, your reading is so abundant. And I hope that you see that. Yes, there's a lot of things that are starting at the ace, but the ace is really the promise of a brand new day. It's a promise of what you can build. I feel like the main thing is just being truthful with yourself. Especially once you're in the process of having a spiritual awakening, truth is everything, right? My truth, even other people's truth. Like I see it for what it is and I can't deny it. But as I say that, I feel like that's probably what you were reflecting on. Okay. So I'm really just taking this over the reading because I want to use the romance angels for that Knight of Cups. But let's see what this has to say. Patience, number one. I can feel that. It's making me have patience. But I do. I have patience. Oh, whoa. Okay, that's a lot, but I'm going to take them. All right. Miss chances. Don't don't have regrets. Cherish your moments together. Don't have regrets. Cherish your moments together. Truce unveiling. Well, that's part of the theme of your reading. Confront issues with honesty, revealing secrets to light the way forward. Confront issues with honesty, revealing secrets to light the way forward. Um, just so you know, a lot of these cards I have not even seen myself yet. Yes, they were shuffled. I invited them into the family, all that. But I like looking at a new deck at the same time you are. We have Frozen Heart. Empathy and warmth melts barriers for true connections. Don't have an icy heart. Empathy. That's what the Empress carries. And warmth melts the barriers for true connection. You know what that reminds me of? Is like the Eight of Swords. And then freeing oneself from that Eight of Swords. Chaotic clarity. Amidst confusion and intense. Oh, okay. Amidst confusion and intense crises, seek the light of understanding and resolve. Well, that kind of feels like it's relating back to judgment, or I'm sorry, justice. So I am resolving something. I feel like what Spirit's saying is don't have that icy heart. You don't have to be looking for love. Just be open. And it doesn't even have to be like, oh, I'm open for love. I'm just open. I'm open to what is meant for me, what is part of my destiny. Remember, the Empress and the Fool, neither of them carry the past with them. The experiences, yes. The Empress is loving and nurturing, but she's powerful. So, if you feel you're in the Empress's energy, then you really don't have to fear anything. The thing I really love about the Empress is she trusts her intuition to be the measure of whether something is right or maybe not so right. She knows. Like, I don't feel like anything could get through her energetic field of, let's just say, lower vibration, or if it wasn't meant to be. I feel like her sirens would go off. Like, no way, And even the person is trying to get through that energetic field, like those sirens would scare them away. Okay, let's pick this up and let's go to the romance angels. I want to say I'm blown away by your reading, but the truth is, well, I am blown away, but I can see why this is happening. I can feel it. I can feel you evolving. I feel it. I feel your abilities and the things that you can do with them, like what you can create. I feel it. I feel like your spiritual team is allowing me to feel the potential of all that lies ahead. It's like the dog days are over. I just have to let them go. Now, this Knight of Cups, you know, it can be someone old, it can be someone brand new, it can be someone from a past life. But here's the thing, it's destined to be. But it is meant to start at the beginning, right? The Fool is all about the journey, like the adventure of the journey. That's what the Fool seeks. Okay, this could be the one. This could be the one. Interesting, I just said for some of you, well, I'll let you decide that. Um, it says you already met the romantic partner you seek. And remember, it is coming over the wish card. But we have two wishes. Well, I feel like all your wishes are being answered. Um, could be different than you expect, but that's okay. It'd be better. But anyways, we're looking at the Knight of Cups, so this could be the one. It's like two angels connecting them. Two judgments are out. Two spiritual teams are out. And it definitely feels like I'm looking at the angels that's connecting them. It's like they each have their own. The angels are bringing them together. Free yourself, and the rest will follow. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Absolutely. That's kind of what the Nine of Pentacles feels to me. Like I feel independent within myself. And because I feel that way, because I don't need love, but I do welcome it. The Empress is not someone like I don't have to have love, but I'm certainly not going to close my heart off to what divine may bring in. Let's just take one more round. Retreat. Look at this image. This reminds me of What I feel with it is like I'm walking, but I'm walking with one of my spiritual teams, someone, part of my spiritual team, like guidance. Maybe you meet someone and you just want to make sure. She does have a wedding dress on. It does feel like her father. Doesn't have to be. It's time to disconnect from the world. Reminds me a little bit of the hermit's energy that we saw under the new beginning. And I don't feel like you're retreating from the world. I feel like you're retreating from anything that, and I don't mean this in an egotistical way, but that just is not going to serve your purpose moving forward. If I'm here trying to create real success for myself, but I'm dealing with someone who just keeps putting issue after issue after issue in front of me, because, again, that Ten of Wands can certainly mean that, then that's why you want to reclaim your, time to take back control of your life. And it can speak about maybe you have spent some time single, but maybe it was important that you did. Yet, in the same breath, I also feel like I'm having a discussion, like a spiritual discussion. It's like we have the mother and the father figure. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. That means you're living in the here and now. And then make the effort. But let me read this. Great love. Great love is worth taking the steps. Excuse me, where are you at? Right here. That you're guided to take. Great love. That's what's coming in. Is worth taking the steps that you're guided to take. So, I love that it says great love and the guidance of it. I feel like I just want to take one. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. It's funny, I just wanted to take one more. And every time I get that card, the first thing that comes to my mind is who knows me better than my family or my friends? Those who, let's say, are balanced themselves. Certainly, someone could be introducing you to someone out of the blue. This is all the makings of a beautiful romance. And yes, do we hope that, I mean, it is ultimately showing the ultimate destination. But I still want to say the Fool stays in the present moment. It means I'm enjoying each and every moment. I'm allowing the romance to blossom on its own without putting restrictions upon it. Again, because I feel like you are in the Empress's energy, male or female, and because the Empress is about a loving and nurturing person, but she's learned that, right? She herself had to overcome some difficult situations to really be who she is today. That's kind of like the Knight of Wands we saw. We don't want to regret because everything has taught us something. And those lessons are what allows us to be who we are today. Doesn't mean we're perfect. Doesn't even mean our life is perfect. But look how this is all flowing. It's all flowing forward. There could certainly be two people wishing for the same thing, but destiny definitely feels like it has a big part of it. Well, it's probably the major part of it. And this could be predestined. And I just want to say for some of you, where it says you already met the romantic partner you seek, sometimes it's just not the right time. And I can use my own life experiences in that. Sam and I were together as teenagers. Then we broke up. I went on and lived my life. I left our state. He went on and lived his life. And then 40 years later, completely out of the blue, my phone rings and it's Sam. And now we live together. Now we're back in love. So I will never leave that off the table because it is one of my own experiences. And I know that just from doing a lot of personal, I knew that from doing readings, period. But I also know that from doing a lot of personal readings. Um, Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. But Capricorn, this is just not about love. I mean, yes, it is an important component of it, but why shouldn't you have great love? Why shouldn't you have abundance in your life? You have everything it takes to create that. That's what this reading is really telling you. Like you have what it takes to really live an abundant life. Now, when I say an abundant life, I don't necessarily mean you're rich, but you are rich. You are rich. You're rich because you're able to do the things that you've always wanted to do. You're rich because you're with a person that is just part of your destiny. You're rich because your spirituality is just evolving on a daily basis. These are why these dreams are coming true. It's not magic. They're well deserved. They're well earned. I can't help that think who's ever coming together that you're being guided. So try to let go of the control of like exactly what it must be, who it must be. Some of you might already know. But again, this is unexpected. That's what the meaning is. Yeah, judgment is saying, I'm going to guide you. I'm going to guide them. And I don't know what card I saw where I literally saw two angels bringing two lovers together. This is one hell of a reading. I may even give you that title. This is one hell of a reading. I should say one heaven of a reading. All right. I think I'm going to leave it there. I cannot wait to read your comments. I cannot wait. And I have to say, I already know some may be still like, let's say back in the Ten of Wands. And those who have evolved, this is where the comment section I feel is so healing because, that's why I tell my personal stories because a lot of people think, "Oh, I don't want anybody from the past." Well, I didn't think I wanted anybody from the past either. I wasn't even thinking about anybody from the past, but yet it happened. I wasn't thinking about it. Actually, I was having quite a weak moment and I was calling the person I had just left. I was just about to invite them over. And then my call waiting beeped in. I answered it, and it was Sam singing Night Moves by Bob Seger to me. Do you think I invited the other one over after that? Uh-uh. I said, never mind. Goodbye. And that's when Sam and I's new love story began. And it was a new love story because we knew each other as children, as teenagers. We didn't know each other as adults. I didn't know what he had been through. He didn't, you know, and by the way, we had a lot of similarities in our lives. So we have a lot of understanding of each other also. Anyway, that's just, I feel like I had to say that. Um, for those who just, I don't know. Some people will say, like, I'm tired of you saying people from the past are coming back. Well, then I would have to leave out my whole story. And I know it's not everyone, because again, this Night of Cups, it's so close to the full, it's new. So even if it's old again, it's still new. And because it's destiny, you are, I don't know how you couldn't be soulmates. That means you know each other. That means you know each other's soul. That means you do live in eternity together. But maybe these two souls really wanted to challenge themselves in this lifetime, wanted to go through some of these experiences, definitely wanted to build up their life. And then maybe this is just the time it was meant to happen. All right. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I love you so much. Again, I want to thank you ahead of time for your comments, especially, you know, I see you helping others who are suffering. And I thank you for that. I truly do. I thank you for your donations. It's what keeps me on YouTube. I couldn't be here without it. I thank you for sharing the video. More and more of you are sharing the videos to your social platform. And let's say, like, I wish I could donate, but I don't have any money. One of the best things you can do is share, or even just watch the ads that I have at the beginning and the end. I keep the reading ad free, because I don't want the flow to be interrupted. I just don't. I tried to put ads in, and yes, it would certainly increase my money. But when I put ads in and then I'd go back and watch it myself just to see, I hated it. I hated how it interrupted the flow. So I decided to take them back out and just put one before and one after. So I'm only saying that because I'm even clicking on, if you click on an ad, say you're doing it to help me, you do have to let that ad load fully. I just learned that. Um, but anyways, um, I thank you in every single way you help support my journey. I know that we're all soul connected. And I feel like that is why a reading can resonate with so many, because we are one big soul family and we have new members coming every day. They're not, I mean, they're new to the channel, but they're not new to us. So thank you, my beautiful soul sisters and soul brothers. What? And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of the rest of your life. This is one hell of a reading. I love you. Thank you. And I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.